So, ever since I was a kid, I was always threatened by my mom that if I keep acting up, if I keep acting out, getting in trouble, or doing something I shouldn't have been doing, that she would send me back to live with, you know, somebody back in my country, a relative, whether that's a uncle, an aunt, grandma, this and the other. It was always a threat that, yo, you keep this up, you keep this, or you don't change this, I'm gonna send you back. So I was thinking yesterday, and I was like, how would my life have changed, even if it would have, or maybe it wouldn't have? How would my life have been different had I grown up in Kenya and not in the States? Let's jump into it. So let's start off with the fact that being sent back was always used as a threat. Um, I can easily say that yes, a lot of people do need to be sent back at a certain point, right? Usually, your parents aren't threatening to send you back to Kenya or your country for not washing the dishes. Usually, you've probably reached a point where you're getting in trouble with what's it called, school or this and that. Probably it's reaching to a point where you're involved with the law or things that you shouldn't be, and then you can start getting the threats, or you're not doing well in school, you're getting in fights, A, B, C, D, you can name whatever. When you're not on that straight and narrow, that's when your parents are like, I'm gonna send you back because our country will straighten you out. So I can definitely say that in America, a lot of things we let fly would not fly in Kenya, right? Now, I was never that type of kid or person where I'm getting in trouble doing like socially unacceptable things that definitely wouldn't fly in Kenya, right? So I don't think that Kenya would have made like such a huge difference. But where I do think it would have changed is probably my perspective on life and how I approach things. Um, in the U.S., I think one of the biggest differences and one of the reasons a lot of people look up to the U.S. is because reaching for the stars here is like encouraged in the sense of like go to the furthest extent, grow the biggest business you can grow, make the most money you can make. Showing off a yacht and a mansion, people here are interested. Yes, you're gonna have people who hate the rich and hate this, that, and the other, but that spirit of, oh, we're the best, we're Americans, this and the other, that's why a lot of people admire the U.S. and that's why a lot of things that the U.S. has achieved, I think, has been within that spirit of like, let's go to the furthest extent that we can go. So I don't think that I would have been any more or less, let's say, ambitious had I grown up in Kenya. Because most Kenyans that I meet, whether we're the same age or peers, they're a little older than me, younger than me, they're still ambitious. They still think to to reach for the stars in whatever they're doing. But the biggest difference might be in, let's say, that showmanship, that showboating and gloatingness that you could do in America that may not be socially acceptable in Kenya, or may not be seen as socially like, eh, we don't do that, right? Um, I don't think I've adopted a lot of American views in the sense of like things that would clash with our cultures. Um, oh my god, there's a bee. No, okay. That's a fly. But I don't think I've adopted too many things from the U.S. that you can say, oh, one of my birds is here. I don't think I've adopted too many things that you could say have changed me from to where like now I don't click with what a normal Kenyan would view as acceptable or unacceptable. I would say for the most part I'm still within the social norms and social views that our culture has. But at the same time, I can't be naive enough to say that I would be the exact same person. So how would Kenya have influenced me? Like I said, America, yes, here we tell like we're more showboaty. We're showing off your wealth and doing certain things is okay here, but in a lot of parts of the world, it would be seen as like, yeah, we don't do that. We don't this, that, and the other. Um, I don't know. Maybe this is something that a lot of viewers can touch on. If I grew up in Kenya, do you think like it would have changed a lot? I think I would still be just as ambitious, probably less Americanized in how I carry myself. I don't know. No, I carry myself the same way in Kenya, and it's not seen as out of place or whatever. I don't know. This is actually like a really hard question now that I'm thinking about it. If I grew up in Kenya, let's let's first clarify. I don't come from a rich family or anything or any like politicians, and no, I don't come from any of that. Pretty average family, right outside of Nairobi. I don't think I would have gone to private schools with rich kids or anything. I would have been going to schools with normal kids. I did do some schooling in Kenya. The little schooling I did, I think it was, in a sense, daycare. Was it daycare almost? But I still remember getting beat. So I've been through it, man. I've been through it. But yeah, how would Kenya have changed me? Would I have made the same choices? Like, let's say, would I have been more pressured or less pressured to go and finish college if I lived in Kenya? I have a whole lot more family in Kenya than I do in the U.S. So probably, but at the same time, I don't think I would have been a different Jimmy, in the sense of like the same hard headedness that made me decide like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm gonna go pursue and jump on my own leg. The same spirit of Jimmy that told me we're gonna quit this job and stop wasting time. Let's actually plan to go back to Kenya. Um, yeah, I don't think that aspect of me would have been gone or dissipated or whatever word you want to use. I don't think that part of me would have been gone, or maybe would it have. Could Kenya have molded me to be more conforming to the paths that we're supposed to take? Right? Are the choices that I've made that have gotten me here because of my American influence? I can understand because of my American opportunities that I was able to do what I've done here in America. Probably wouldn't have been able to do it in Kenya. But would I have still been as ambitious and had the same self belief if I'd have grown up in Kenya? I think I would have. Um, this is actually a conversation I've had with somebody a while back. Talking, it was on the same topic of like how, what's it called? How how America has influenced me, right? And how I've assimilated to the social norms in America to fit in here and understand how to get by, understand the humor, understand just the social things, the social fabric of the U.S. But it was Jemo. I was talking with Jemo a while back, and he did tell me that I would have changed or I would have been different in Kenya. But now that I'm actually like diving deep into this topic, I'm actually not sure. I would actually love if you guys would put something in the comments. If you think that you know a way Kenya would have changed me, let me know. Maybe I would have done boarding school. Maybe, yeah, I could see if let's say I went to boarding school in Kenya. That would have definitely made me a lot more responsible in the sense of you know, boarding school, you're taking care of yourself and you have more agency as a child when you're in boarding school. You have to make sure your clothes are washed, all that and the other. You go through hazing, I've been told. I think my hard headedness sort of gotten me in fights if somebody try to haze me. But I don't know. Let me know. This is probably gonna be a mini series as I think about how, what if I grew up in Kenya? How would Jimmy have been different? I can do multiple videos on this because there's probably a different idea that's gonna pop up in my head every time I think about it. I genuinely don't know right now. Apart from the the backing to go and pursue anything you can, and what's it called? Try whatever, take advantage of every opportunity that America tells you to do. Apart from that missing in Kenya, not that Kenyans don't encourage each other to pursue whatever. Kenyans are very ambitious. That's the scary part about going back too. I'm like, yo, I'm competing with a bunch of smart mother lovers. Um, yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. I haven't done a Swahili segment for this video yet. What can I say? Nilizolewa. Is it Nilizolewa? No, wait, I did do a Swahili segment. Tutaonana, nitafanya segments zingine kuongea on this topic of kama ninge grow ndani ya Kenya, ningekuwa mtu mwingine ama ningekuwa huyu Jimmy anaongea sahi. Niambie. Y'all take care. Until next time, I love y'all.